What is up, YT? What's up, fam? This is KJ. I'm back. Y'all already know what time it is. It's ready to love time. I'm trying to make sure I get these videos out on time so that y'all can have them and we can talk about it. I gotta put some lip gloss on because, honey, it's looking real dryish around this area. All right, so we're back again this week for Ready to Love. We're going to go ahead and get into it and talk about it. Thank you guys so much for the viewing on my last video. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so that you will be notified every time I post a video. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this episode. And I do have my notes right here. So just so y'all know, just in case y'all see me looking down, blah, 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 blah. I got my notes right here. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so this is season 8, episode 3. I'm going to stop talking with my hands because I talk with my hands, y'all. I'm sure y'all noticed that. So I'm going to stop talking with my hands and whatnot. All right, so this is season 8, episode 3. So, they start off in the ladies' lounge. Tommy actually lets the ladies know they have an assignment. So their assignment is to basically tell something about you that you normally wouldn't tell so early on in dating, in the dating stage. All right, so boom. We start out with dates. Mercedes, Sue-Ann, Mark Anthony, and Blake. They go on a active date. I think it was called Kangoo or something like that. But they go on this active date. And it's like some little boot hop thingies. I don't even know what it is, but it looks fun. It looked like something that I would do because I'm into the whole active dance, active type stuff. So, a text message. Dance, active type stuff. So it looked fun, but Blake didn't want to go off the bat. He was just like, when he saw the shoes, he was like, oh no, this ain't something that I'll be doing. But he actually ended up giving in and decided to go ahead and do it. So they kind of did that and it looked pretty fun. Mark Anthony and Mercedes had a one-on-one sit down. Mercedes opened up about her most recent ex cheating on her, and he had a baby on her, and it was a deal breaker for her, which I can totally understand. Like, it's one thing to cheat, and we can have conversations about this later and we can argue all day, but some people will stay after cheating, some people will try to work it out after cheating. So in her case, with a baby, that was a deal breaker. And a baby is a whole other form of cheating, so that's something else you have to consider when you're deciding to stay or leave. But she opened up about that. He opened up about being stable and how it was important to him to be stable based on how he was raised, and she thought that was a really good thing because she would like to have somebody that's stable in a relationship. They like each other. It seems like they're pretty flirty. He was staring into her eyes, and they just look really cute together. I really think they have some potential to move forward in this season. Go a long way. Mark Anthony seems like a pretty good dude. He is actually one of the attractive ones in my opinion. So I think they look really cute together. It was real cute. Blake and Sue-Ann sat down and had a little one-on-one, and they were talking about the whole activity that they had to do, and Blake gave Sue-Ann a nickname, Susu, and that he was trying to run up, like he looked like he was hanging. She said he looked like he was hanging in there. He looked like he said he was been about to run out of there. So they kind of joked about the activity of it all or whatever. This connection seemed kind of forced. They didn't really look as if they were like vibing, but Sue-Ann really kind of liked him from what she gave off and what she was telling her confessional. Blake was saying that he was saying that he sees some potential in some of the ladies here. Everybody's attractive, you know. He sees potential, and he may have found what he was looking for in some of the ladies. But he was basically looking for happiness in attraction, intelligence, and compatibility. I didn't see Sue-Ann really open up about something that she would normally not tell anybody in the first few days of dating, like the assignment was. But she, it seemed they got to be a little bit more comfortable with each other. But I just don't see the sparks. And Sue-Ann seems like she's seeing a spark somewhere in Blake that I just personally didn't see. Cynthia and Andre, they went out on a date. It was a painting date. I love to paint, so I totally feel Cynthia on that. Painting is my thing. Like, it's sipping paint, just painting at home. I bought some canvases and paint myself for my person. First of all, I had a birthday party that we had a whole sip and paint scene, and I had some canvases left over, and I kept those, and I just do those to kind of wind down and just relax. Painting is my thing. I love to paint. It's very calming. It's very relaxing. And I think I'm Picasso. So, yeah. Cynthia's blushing as soon as she saw Andre. That's a good sign, you know, that she kind of really liked him. That's what she was saying. Andre was excited as well. I still hate Andre's little hairstyle and his little curl at the top. But he does have a pretty smile. I can't give Andre that. He's not ugly. I just don't like his hair. Andre opens up about compatibility being important, and he wants to be, you know, compatibility being important to him. And Cynthia admits that she's been a very strong woman, and she was asking him, you know, like, do you see yourself being able to teach and help a woman who has been so strong kind of be softer? And he was saying that, you know, he will be willing to do that. She gets emotional because it seems that she really wants to give off that softer side and be seen, and for it to be seen and brought out because she has it. And he likes her more because of her being vulnerable and how she got emotional. And he promises to her that he's not going to take advantage of that. And I just love that. I think Andre is a man, like a manly man. And I appreciated how he responded to her getting emotional in this scene. And she did as well. And I think they really make a cute match. And I think they might go far in this, you know, in this season too. We got Corvea and Fabrice. They did some bike riding. Y'all. Fabrice, all I gotta say about Fabrice is get somebody else to do it. Because I don't like nothing about his vibe personally. And I don't know, like he said, it might be a cultural thing, but I just am not feeling Fabrice at all. Anyway, they go on the bike rides. They ride out to the park and they sit down. She asked him about, you know, his business, and he told her that he built a business or whatever, and when he was younger, and he just sold it or something like that. But his first business when he was like 27. So she tell him that she, you know, that's crazy because I told the experts that I wanted somebody that had built and sold his business. And she goes on to say it's not about the money, and then he cut her off. Like, you know, it is basically, but, you know, that's fine. I understand where you're coming from, and if I look like you, then I would feel the same way. I just didn't even understand where that came from. Like, what are you talking about, Fabrice? If you look like her, then you would feel the same way. What does she look like exactly? I just don't know what Fabrice be saying out of his mouth sometimes. It just be like, no, please be quiet today, right now. But she kind of gave him like a look like, no, what? But he continued to talk and tell her that, you know, if he looked like her, that he would be the same way she is. And he understands her, and he had an ex that was from Puerto Rico, and so he understands her more than he thinks she do. And so in her confessional, she was like, you know, why is he trying to tell me about me and how he know me? He trying to tell me that he know me more than I know myself. And I didn't really like it. She didn't really like it. And he just seemed to be like cutting her off and just kind of tell her what she thinking and what she mean and what she trying to say. And it was just really coming out rude to me. But he's saying that he want her to be more open. She seem like she's so closed off and not open. Oh, another thing that he said, you know, he was asking her like what you like to do, what you love to do. So she was like, I love to be social media motivate and inspire. So I guess maybe an influencer on social media. And so his comment was like, oh, you're so young. Febreze, yo, personality, boo, because you need to spray some Febreze on that because it's not giving. Um, she felt that he felt that she was dissing and closed off or whatever, and she was just saying that she an open book and she don't know where he get that from, and he's trying to tell her, you know, everything that he can see and know about her because she's Puerto Rican and the way she look and all that stuff, and it was just not right. And I don't know if it's because of her looks or it's just the superficial vibe that she's giving off, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, yes, Corvea does give off this superficial vibe based on her saying she want to be spoiled and all of this and that. But I just don't like the way she give off her vibes, and I don't like the way Febreze give off of his vibes. So, I don't think either one of them like this date as much, him or her, to be honest with you. Morgan, Marcia, Lyndon, and Tony, they went out on a group date. Morgan's been talking on the phone to both of them. She was saying she talked to Lindy a lot, she talked Lyndon a lot, and she talked to Tony a lot. Morgan decides to share that she has never been in love. So after she's never really felt that connection or whatever. Tony feel like it's not a red flag that she ain't never been in love, even though she's an older lady. She's not old, y'all, so don't take it like that. But she's an older lady, and he feel like, you know, that's kind of not a red flag, but it's definitely a pinkish, purplish looking flag because why you ain't ever been in love. Lyndon was honest about his struggle with vulnerability and basically how with work and how his job, I don't even know why he keep bringing up his nightlife. I guess he's trying to feel the ladies out to see who is totally against it, who kind of on the fence about it, and who just with it. But he's talking about his vulnerability and how work and how it's hard to kind of have the two. So he talked about him and Marcia sat down and they were talking a little bit, and she was like, you got my number, you haven't used it. And so he was saying that, you know, because it's been so busy with work, he hasn't really had the time to use the number, and that is kind of like his schedule is also not really clicking with the show. So like maybe they have to be there in the daytime, and then he's a night person, so he probably try to sleep late and can't, that type of thing. So I don't know, but that was his excuse. Marcia was like, well, we make time for the stuff that we want to do. We want to make time for, so I can't really let you, slide with that, which is so true. We make time for what we want to make time for. That's it. That's all, period. It don't matter what it is or who it is or what it is. If we want to do it, that's what we're going to do, and we're going to make time to make sure it happens. So miss me with that, Lyndon. Morgan and Tony take a walk, and Tony is making eye contact. He is definitely expressing how much he is feeling feeling Morgan. And Morgan is all smiles. She got this big, pretty smile on her face, and she's just like, I'm really liking how aggressive and he is, not in a bad way, in a good way, and that he's expressing how he feel about me, and she just really liked that he is being forthcoming about that. Lyndon and Marcia, we go back to them, and she's telling him that she's attracted to him, and she wants him to not miss the opportunity to show himself in this process. And so he was like, well, should I not miss this opportunity? So then he go in and try to kiss her, and she kind of back up like, hold on, like, no, I'm not ready to kiss you or whatever. But she didn't say that, but she definitely ducked and dodged basically to get out of the way of them lips. And so they laughed it off or whatever, and he said that she was in his airspace, and that's why she basically I'm sorry, y'all, I'm getting the six. She was in his airspace, and that's why that's why he tried to kiss her. But, Marcia wasn't feeling that at all, and she was just like, no, we're not about to kiss right now, and I'm very sorry, but it's not about to happen. And she made sure to tell him that, don't overthink it. It's not that I wouldn't kiss you. It's just that not right now, And she thought he was trying to tell her something or something like that. Like she didn't pick up that he was trying to kiss her, but when she did, it was like, no. Hold up. All right, so Tony wants to make sure Morgan knows he has intentions to make sure the woman's safe, that the woman feels safe, seen. He want to pray together. He want to enjoy life. He want to build. He want to pamper. I'm like, okay, Tony, yes, you speaking all the right languages. You speaking all the right things. Morgan says she likes Tony. She liked that he let her know how he feel about her. He's sweet to her and basically a gentleman. And she's feeling all that. She feeling all that. But she does say that he is smooth and he might be a little too smooth. And she's feeling like, I probably need to kind of be cautious that this is just with her and not with the other ladies. But my thing is this: if this is who he is and he's just a smooth guy and he's a nice guy and he's a gentleman and all this and that, then I'm definitely expecting him to be like that with the other ladies. I mean, technically this is a dating show. Technically this is episode 3. Technically, if you're trying to get to know everybody to ensure that you're not voted off the show, then, and that's your personality and that's who you are, then yeah, you might be like that with the other ladies. But some things, are intentional, and then some things are just who you are. So, I get what Morgan's saying in real world, in real life, but in this scene and in this show and the way it goes, I don't get that. She don't want him to be himself if that's who he is all around with the other people. But it is what it is. I get it though. As women, I get it. Jeffrey and Demario, so they go on a date. She's a country girl. She looks really, really good in her pink and black. I loved her shape. She looks good. So they go on to ride horses or whatever, and she talked about growing up in the country life and her family. She's family oriented, and he is okay with dating a woman with kids. And he was basically saying, if you have proven that you can handle financial management and time management, so kids, he'd be more than happy to help with that. And I thought that was really unique that he said financial management and time management, but he's willing to help. So I guess it's like, you taking care of your kids on your own as an independent woman, but I can come in and be a helpmate versus me coming in, you got 3 kids and you haven't been able to give him the same things that you want me to provide. I guess from a man's standpoint, that makes sense. I don't have kids myself, so I can't really even speak on it. But I was intrigued by him saying that, financial management and time management, so he wouldn't have a problem. She's proven that, so he wouldn't have a problem with, him he being a helpmate to her and her kids, or stepdad, or whatever they are down the road. He said he digging her, and she can see her. She said that she could see herself moving forward with him. So might be a match for Jeffrey and Demario. Johnny and Lennon went to a wine bar. All he talked about is his nightlife. That's the first thing he started out with. That's what he lead with, his nightlife and being on the scene. He said it's not really partying, but she, on the other hand, is okay with the nightlife lifestyle, which she looks like she pretty much will get out and hang out and turn up. That's what she said, he turn up all the time. So she was okay with his lifestyle. She wants somebody she can party and hang out with. She said she had to try to overcome, one of the things she had to overcome was comparing the people she dates. So that was that's one of the things she told, that was the assignment based on what Tommy gave. And, she compared people that she dates. So she was saying she's trying to overcome that, which I thought was, good to share and nice to know that this is something wrong with that, because you shouldn't really do that, and that she's trying to overcome that. So that's something she's working on. And she said it was refreshing to see other levels of Lyndon, and basically other than the club life that he talked about. I think they vibe really well for the most part. She looks like she a fun girl, you know what I'm saying? And he looked like he into that whole I can hang out and party with her, because he was like, you know, we go out together, we gonna paint the town. So I think, if you know, it's giving a vibe, but I don't think it's giving long-term relationship vibe, if y'all get what I'm saying. Back at the ladies lounge. So we back at the ladies lounge, and we get a take on how all the ladies feel as far as who they like, who they don't like. Mercedes said, you know, how she likes Mark Anthony and his energy. They seem to be vibing. Susu also likes Anthony. So I guess she's talking about Mark Anthony, because they didn't really show everybody this episode, so I don't know. I think it's another Anthony. But she said she liked Anthony, and she said Blake gave her a nickname, and I guess she kind of felt a little bit of spark with Blake. Marcia talks about the kids from Linden. Marcia talks about the kids from Linden, and her how her neck snapped, and she was not ready for what he was trying to do. Zanique likes Blue and her date with Linden. She talked about that. Cynthia and talked about her date with Andre and how she was really feeling Andre. Jeffrey and talked about her date with DeMario, and she said he gave husband energy. Okay, so the guys they had no connection with. Marcia says DeMario, he is very robotic and basically don't have no personality. Johnny co-signed that, no personality. Cynthia says her least connection is Tony, and he's smooth, but he ain't saying nothing. It was a mess how she changed. I mean, we're gonna talk about that. It's smooth and he ain't talking about nothing. Corvea says Lyndon gives her player vibes. He tried to kiss her. He tried to kiss Marcia. We didn't ever see him try to kiss her, so I don't know. That's behind the scene, but that's what she said. Johnny talked about Fabrice. She had no connection with Fabrice, and it was just no spark. And they chatted with her, Corvea, saying that she's just, you know, how Fabrice was saying that she is just a spoiled girl and a daddy's girl. But girl, you said you wanted to be spoiled when you was talking to Mark Anthony. And so Corvea, I hate to say it, but that's the vibe that you're giving off, sis. You giving off spoiled. You giving off, I want this, I want that, this what I want, this how I want it. You giving that off. So that's why he picking that up, babe. I'm just saying. Morgan talked about Blake and the 3 kids, and that he don't want no more kids, and that she was basically attacked because she wanted kids. I don't remember that. I don't know if that was in the first episode or not, but I don't remember him attacking her because she wanted more kids. And Jeffrey talked about Blake and how Blake expressed that he hates the process because he's already found his girl, and she feels like it's a relationship without being she in a relationship and not really in a relationship with him, like he kind of controlling. And so Sue Ann was taken aback by that because, you know, she liking Blake or whatever. She feeling Blake. So she was kind of taken aback by what Jeffrey was saying about Blake. And but he gives dry and controlling to me. He gives something. He don't give nothing. He gives real like, no. I just ain't liking Blake. I'm not feeling Blake, but that's just me. Tommy tells them after, you know, about the whole second chance thing, that the same thing the guys got, second chance option. And so it's time for elimination. So Marcia takes Fabrice out, and basically he was excited to see Marcia because he feel like she was good energy, but he walks in and start immediately talking about how good she look and how his breasts are just, her breasts, chest area is taking his breath away, and, you know, he mesmerized by this. Fabrice, you every bit of what, 48, 750, somewhere up and down, and you mean to tell me you still acting like this about some doggone titties? Boy, good night. Stop. Like, come on. She was like, I'm trying to look good. You know, I like to look good. He was like, you wore this for a reason. Fabrice, baby. I told you need to spray some Febreze on that personality, because it's not giving. He just come off like, no. She tell him that the sex talk concerns the ladies or whatever. He thinks that not saying sex is important is a lie, and it's basically a lack of maturity for the ladies to even think that having sex, talking about sex, is something wrong with that. It ain't nothing wrong with that, but you can't start with that, Fabrice, because who wants to F you? Nobody just wants to off the rip F you. And most of the time women know if they're going to F you or not, but it's not like instant. Can you at least have 3 words? Can you have a conversation? Can you go on a date? Can you show something other than that's all you talk about is sex? Like, stop. He says, but he said it's not mature. Marcia says it was a bigger red flag to the ladies than what he thinking it is. So, and he says that it might be a culture clash, but you know, it is what it is. I guess he not changing for nobody. Blake and Suanne sit down for elimination. Blake was already kind of nervous when he walked in because he knew the ladies had went to the lounge or whatever, and she tells him about Blake saying that what Jeffrey was saying about him being over the process and that he had already made his choice. And so Blake was just like, no, she lying. I never told her that I chose her, and I didn't say that. And I was trying to avoid this very thing of it coming off being controlling. But Blake? Why? Why was you trying to control this? Why was you trying to prevent this from being controlling? Well, how did you know that this is going to come off like that? Is it because that's how you are and you've heard this before? And so you were trying to prevent this from happening because you did not want everybody in the world, in the nation, on the TV screen to see you be this way, because this is how you are in real life, and people have said something like this to you before. Is that what you're saying, Blake? Because how could you know to try to control this, and this was the very thing that you was trying to avoid happening? I just don't get that, but whatever. In the end, Febreze was the one who got eliminated, which I agree. Good riddance. Have a good night. Blake probably gonna be next week, but Febreze needed to go this week. My dog is over here acting up. But yeah, Febreze needed to go this week. So my thoughts, what's up with these mohawks? Like, Andre got a mohawk. I noticed Blake got a mohawk this episode. What's up with the mohawks, y'all? Like, I don't like that. Why y'all got mohawks? Why y'all can't just have a regular low haircut or a bald head or something? Like, what is with the mohawks? I can't stand that. Now, it's cute on the ladies. Y'all know how the ladies have the pretty flowy curls and they had a little mohawk thing in the back and a little fantail in the back. That's cute. But the guys, I don't like these mohawk haircuts. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Everybody wasn't shown in this episode. I did notice that. So I wonder, is OWN going to be doing like one episode with the one certain group of people and another episode with the other group of people, because I noticed everybody wasn't shown, everybody didn't have dates. Also, it's glad they don't have these group dates every time. I'm glad we're getting a lot more solo dates. That's good, because group dates don't always get the full everybody. It don't show everybody, you know. So I'm glad we're getting a lot more solo dates. Even within the group dates, they kind of breaking off into solo dates. So I do like that. But it's not like a group. It's like just 4 people. Not like a whole 6, 8 people. You know what I mean? So I'm glad of that. Blake said he has that, he has had that moment since being on the show. He said that when he was sitting there with Suanne in the beginning. But okay, so Blake, let me hear me out now. Hear me out, y'all. If he said he has had that moment with somebody, but then Jeffrey come in the ladies' lounge and say that he told her that she was it, then who you had that moment with, Blake? Like Suanne, you definitely didn't have it with Suanne, because she was shocked to hear you say it. So who was you having that moment with? You know what I'm saying? It's almost given like you did actually tell Jeffrey that when you said you had that moment with somebody, because who did you have the moment with if you didn't actually have your eye on one somebody? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get that part. I don't know if now on the scenes for the next season, next episode, they try to make it seem like Jeffrey lying, but I really feel like it's Blake that's on some lying mess, because he said he had a moment with somebody, or he had that moment with somebody, and it definitely wasn't Suanne. I can tell that Cynthia tries to be soft with Andre, or just men in general, because in the lounge when they were talking about Tony and how she was saying that he real smooth but he ain't saying nothing, her whole voice and demeanor changed when she talked about him. Like she said she could spot out the BS, but when she was talking to Andre, you know, she was really soft and trying to be softer, and she got vulnerable about it. So I could tell she got like a switch on and a switch off when it comes to some FS, you know, and she definitely had to switch on when she had to come and tell them how she felt about Tony, and no, it was just a no for her. Um, what else I had thoughts on? Corvea, she reminded me of Mariah Lynn a little bit. I don't know if y'all watched Love and Hip Hop ever in life, but she reminds me of Mariah Lynn, her whole Latina vibe. Corvea just really giving off superficial, and she need to switch that up if she don't want the other guys to think the same way that Fabrice thinks. You know what I'm saying? Because even in the beginning when she was telling Mark Anthony, she was like, he is, you know, spoil me, spoil me, spoil me. And he said that she was giving off gold digger vibes. You know, the men go into the lounge and talk about this. So they could be getting that same vibe from you, Corvea, because you are definitely giving off that vibe. So I think she need to watch that. But other than that, you know, it was a pretty good episode. I can't wait till these things get good. Hopefully next week it's going to start getting good with Jeffrey and Sue-Ann. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to make sure I come in here and let y'all know my thoughts on Ready to Love. And y'all know, again, this is my show, so I will be back next week. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that you will know next time I upload. And yeah, thank you. Have a good night. Bye.